Most influential video game of all time. Video game. This is I seen this on Twitter, and a few people linked to me yesterday on Twitch and on Twitter, and on YouTube, telling me to read this. I don't know what BAFTA is, but the most influential video game of all time by Chris Schilling. I'm not gonna read this whole thing word for word. I just want to look through it and comment really quick. Video games influence. I need to see what this topic is, because I already like flicked through the list really quick, and some of the choices I'm just like, what? Video games influence of popular culture has never been more prevalent. The effect is visible and audible in today's music across the world of TV and cinema and on the catwalk. Ahead of the 21st BAFTA Games Awards, we asked the public provocative question: what is the most influential video game of all time? Do you pick the pioneers that shaped the early days of the medium, the innovators that were ahead of their time, the ones that proved formative to your own creative journey, or simply the ones that made you the most emotional? The ones that made you the most emotional. Okay, writing drivel. Okay. I think you'd pick the ones that were the most, what is it? Influential. Top 10 alone spans multiple genres of platformers, shooters, sandbox adventures. So top 10 influential. Words it like it's a public vote. Was this a public vote? It was a public vote. Okay. Agree. Grand Theft Auto. Influential. Skyrim. You know what? Arriving the same year as Game of Thrones. Really? That is actually mind-blowing. Bethesda Studio open world role-playing game was every bit as important in bringing high fantasy drama to mainstream audience. 14 years later, it's hard to find a piece of hardware it's not been ported to. Skyrim is definitely an influential game. Actually, now I'm curious what they say about Grand Theft Auto 3 is there. DMA's design produced one of the great success stories of British game industry. GTA wasn't the first game to let you play the bad guy, but it has popularized the idea of video games letting you indulge. Did you guys... Wait. Liberty City, San Andreas, Vice City. Did you guys play the original Grand Theft Auto? I did. I loved them when I was a kid. Like the OG, like top down. I would hate them now. Like I don't want to play it anymore. But because that formula has been so expanded upon. Like nowadays, like a modern version of that kind of gameplay, you'd see like Hotline Miami, stuff like that. But there's just a hyper emphasis on like the gore and the kills and stuff. GTA 3, I bought that when it first came out, and I thought it was like the best game of all time. I couldn't believe, like, GTA 3 was one of the first games I played as a kid where I was finally like, holy shit, we're here. Holy shit, this is like real life. 4 years after the series debuted, its top-down action was transposed to third-person 3D. You still see its legacy in things like Assassin's Creed or Ghost of Tsushima, which is Grand Theft Samurai. Okay, Dark Souls, definitely. Dark Souls, I mean, Dark Souls is influential. There's an entire genre called Souls-like now, so... And with that being said, Metroid, either Metroid or Castlevania has to be on this list. Miyazaki's Dark Fantasy Saga. The Dark Soul... Wait. Has become so influential that the Dark Souls of... True, very true. This is the this is the Dark Souls of puzzle games. This is the Dark Souls of fighting games. That is so true. I actually love that. It's like, it's such an easy way to tell an audience that a game is difficult, because most people are like, oh, it's the Dark Souls of that? Oh man, it must mean it's hard. I've always liked the whole, it's the Dark Souls of, even though at the same time, I don't think Dark Souls is like an insanely hard franchise. Dark Souls, I say this about Code Veronica, Tomb Raider 4, yada, yada, yada. Dark Souls being hard is literally just all about what the choices the player makes. Did you use a good weapon or a bad weapon? A good weapon, one of the easiest fucking games. A bad weapon, good luck. Reducing From Software's RPG to its difficulty sells it short. Its genius lies in the wonderfully Byzantine level design. Byzantine. Yeah, Dark Souls has amazing world building. FF7. Arguably no game has more completely justified Sony's decision to take console gaming from cartridges to CDs at the original PlayStation. Did you guys buy FF7 on original PlayStation when it first came out? Because my oldest brother did. Or we rented it, I think. Yo, Norman, thank you. Thank you, Phantom. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Karanoth. You liked FF8 more? Yeah, this is the most influential games list. So I think of all Final Fantasy games, if you were to pick one, FF7. It would either be FF7 or... You know, I want to say FF6, but... The pixel era of RPGs was insane. Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Final Fantasy VI, you know, the list goes on. Like, I want to say FF6 is influential, but really, there's just so many good ones on SNES, so they're not really influential because they were all just as good as one another. And then FF7 was like, hey, 3D though, yeah. And FF7 told a very complex story with many different elements, so. Wait. The additional storage didn't allow Final Fantasy to move 2D sprites to 3D polygons. It afforded Square Enix the opportunity to tell an innovative emotive tale via expansive cutscenes. That it required more than 2 games to remake speaks volumes. I'm gonna argue something. As much as I love Rebirth, they could have made FF7 in 2 games, not more than. But FF7 Rebirth is like... FF7, half of FF7's Rebirth, or FF7 Rebirth's content could be completely cut, and it would still work. And honestly, some people would like it more. One of the biggest criticisms about Rebirth, weirdly, is that there's too much shit. There's too much to do. Like, that was a lot of criticisms I seen. And I don't disagree. Like, as a speedrunner, something that is very, apparent to me is downtime in a game. Like you said, 90% Chadley interruptions. Chadley interrupting you. Like if you take someone's 100-hour playthrough and you dissect it, you watch the video and you dissect the things that took the most time. Like stuff like Chadley, that could be upwards of 5 hours of just like Chadley nonsense. You know what I mean? And same with like traversing with chocobos, being lost in Gungaga, trying to figure out how to bounce on the correct mushroom to get through the world. That's like another 2 hours. You know, there's a lot of stuff in that game where it didn't take you 100 hours because you were loving your 100-hour playthrough. It took you 100 hours because like 40 of those hours were just forcing you to play, slowing you down, you know, like Chadley conversations or just being lost on absolutely nothing. But anyway, I love Rebirth, and I really like, I don't love Remake, but I really like Remake. But it could definitely have been done in 2 games rather than 3. But another conversation for another time. Baldur's Gate 3. So this is a newer game. It's funny that this is on here. What did this influence? Like you'd think it would be Baldur's Gate 1, but since this is a public vote, people are just like, I like this game, I'm voting for it. Dungeons and Dragons' influence on games is incalculable. Lorient Studios made a multi-award winner. I like how this is nothing about it being influential. Okay, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, that's a great game. Influential? I don't know about that. Now this is an influential fucking game right here, dude. The amount of time, man, I played WoW since release day. The amount of times, I can't even tell you. I'd wake up in the morning. Oh my God, did you see the new WoW killer? The new WoW killer, the new WoW killer, the new WoW killer. I played about 10 WoW killers, and guess what? They're all dead and WoW is still thriving, which is fucking hilarious. It's insane. World of Warcraft definitely, World of Warcraft deserves to be in like the top 5, especially considering its recent history of bringing Classic back. Then everyone went back and played Classic, and now current day on Twitch, like on Twitch in live streaming, World of Warcraft Vanilla was dominating viewership. Like, this game still influences companies, like, to this day. Like, I wonder how many people seen the success of Classic and were like, fuck, maybe we ought to release WoW Classic, or, you know, Overwatch Classic, yada 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 yada. Anyway, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. The secret to its enduring appeal is that it's never quite been beaten. Even now, no WoW killer has managed to dethrone it as king of the genre. True. It has inspired pop culture and given, for better or worse, an image to the world of what a hardcore gamer is. Fuck, I was gonna say something, it didn't mention it. I think the secret to its enduring appeal is its art style. Its art style is just timeless. And I know a lot of people, like younger people, definitely will look at it nowadays and be like, oh, it looks like shit. But in reality, Warcraft is one of the reasons why I always defend art style over good graphics. Because look at Warcraft. The reason it's still successful to this day is the graphics have aged fine. It still looks good because it has a particular style to it. Now imagine if they were trying to be cutting it, like, man, Final Fantasy XIV reached a point before they reworked everything that it looked a little dicey. This is something that deserves to be on here, 100%. Konami's stealth action masterpiece was the game that heralded a new era of mature storytelling in games. Kojima! Inventive, thrilling espionage adventure combined genre-leading storytelling with meta-textual flourishes to inspirational effect. Truing. Like, to this day, I feel like, you know what's telling to me? The remake of Metal Gear Solid, I feel like, in my opinion, the remake Twin Snakes has aged worse than the OG. Pong. Skip. Tomb Raider, there we go. No, I won't skip Pong, I guess. I mean, Pong, you know, it's the GOAT. It's the, sorry, I stuttered when I said that because I don't believe it. It's the OG, okay? It's the OG, but no scorn. Tomb Raider, let's go. Only a handful of characters transcend video games. The likes of Sonic, Mario, and Pikachu are almost universally recognized, and Lara Croft belongs in that short list. Yes, she does. Wanted to make an Indiana Jones game, but it would have been too costly to create 2 playable characters. Stuck with the preferred choice, and the result was a new gaming icon. Lara opened the door for strong female characters in games. She's a positive role model for everyone and a true hero. A true hero. OG Lara Croft a hero? I don't know about that. Because she's just like a murderous, fucking villainous, rampaging beast. Blood beast. Tetris. Okay. It's the game everyone knows and everyone thinks of when they think gaming. One anonymous voter wrote, so approachable that anyone could pick it up, yet ferociously fast and demanding at the highest levels of competitive play. Yeah, Tetris is like a perfect game. I don't like Tetris, and I've never really liked Tetris, but I can admit it's like the perfect video game where anyone can play it, and at the highest level, oof, it's nuts. Like, Tetris is almost like, looking at it, well, bear with me here. Looking at Tetris, you think like, fuck, you don't like Tetris, but I can't imagine a world without it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so influential. It should honestly be like in the top 3. It's just such an iconic game that, like, I look at it as just a stupid game that I don't like, but in reality, it's everything, you know? Like, I can't imagine a world without it. Tetris, it's talking about influential. Man, how many fucking different Tetris games are there? With just some different theme to them. It sort of died out lately, but you know, you got Dr. Mario, Yoshi's Cookie, the Pokemon did it too. A lot of franchises did it. I can't think of a ton. Kirby did it. Like a lot of them did it. And I can't name them all because I've never liked Tetris, but I can acknowledge its genius. Thank you, Lemon Grease. The streak continues. Yeah, thank you. I used to love the one with the globe on the N64. Like you tilted the Tetris globe and you picked the pieces. The Sims, definitely influential. I agree. I used to love The Sims 1, but then I just fell off the whole Tetris sphere. Was that what it was called? Or Tetris Attack? Yeah, I agree with The Sims. I loved The Sims 1, but I can't play The Sims games anymore. Because, man, I can't be doing my laundry and having a shower and going to work in The Sims. Meanwhile, I have dishes in the sink, I'm unshowered, and I'm skipping work to play it, you know? I can't do that shit anymore. That's like the most self-aware, like I'm depressed game as an adult ever. My one great memory with The Sims was downloading a skin for all the Ninja Turtles, putting them in the pool and taking away the ladder to get out and watching them all drown. That's my Sims, that's my best Sims experience. Half-Life 2. 11 years after Doom established the tenets of the first-person shooter. By the way, I agree with Half-Life 2 100%. I mean, Half-Life, come on. Demonstrate how to tell a gripping story when looking at a world through another character's eyes, combining tense combat with exploration of puzzles, set a new standard for the FPS and for simulated physics. The gravity gun, dude. The gravity gun was nuts. When this game came out, this game was so far ahead of its time. Like, so incredibly far ahead of its time. Incredibly far. Like this pushed the fucking medium so far. And no one even caught up either. Like, this pushed the medium so far, and no one ever caught up to it. Like, I can't ever see us getting another Half-Life 2 of a game where you play it and you're like, holy shit. Like, this game is doing things I've never seen before, and it's amazing. I don't think we'll ever see that. Super Mario 64!
Let's go!
Having created a template for side-scrolling games, Nintendo repeated the trick when the medium embraced a third dimension. Super Mario 64 wasn't the first game to trade sprites for polygons, but it's DNA coded into just about every 3D game release since. Agreed. This makes the whole list irrelevant to me. Like Kingdom Come 2 being ahead of any of, like, literally, if Kingdom Come 2 is on here, it should be at the highest, like 22. Like, Kingdom Come being here is insanely dumb. This is like the definition of recency bias and just people being stupid. This is not an influential game. It just fucking came out. Like, it's not even on sale yet. It's not even on fucking sale yet, dude. Like, well, no Nintendo game is on sale, but seeing this makes the list a complete joke. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. You can disagree with the placement of some things and wish some other things were on there, like RE4, for example, or whatever else. But, or Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil game. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, let's see what it says. Not even 2 months old, the most recent entry on our list has clearly attracted a vocal and supportive fan base, offering a handsomely rendered and wonderfully open-ended sandbox. Its future impact has yet to be determined. Which, like, contradicts the whole list. But sure. This is dumb as hell. I'm not saying the game is bad, by the way, just for the smooth brainers. The influential gaming list is about games that influence the future of gaming. What the heck? Minecraft, agreed. I gotta stop scrolling so far. Minecraft, definitely. Minecraft, definitely. 100%. The blurb even says it, yeah. But this was a viewer voted list, or like I think I know why this is on here. It probably got linked on like the Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance Reddit, and people were like, "Oh my God, we have to vote for it. We love Kingdom Come. It's my favorite game of all time." So, yeah. Endlessly surprising, collaborative, and even educational. It continues to welcome in new generations of players too. Minecraft is timeless. Minecraft is similar to what I was saying about WoW, where you look at the graphics and they're terrible, but it's all about art style, man. That art style is going to age. I mean, that doesn't need to be said because it's already been proven. Minecraft's art style has aged well, and it will continue to age well. And honestly, hey, ray tracing in Minecraft looks insane. Dude, I played Minecraft in the beta. Like, my first YouTube video on my whole channel is Minecraft. I played it in beta, yeah. So, like, I was playing it on release day. No joke. You played it during the alpha? Fuck. Mogged, dude. I am Steve. I didn't see anyone call it not influential. I mean, people that call Minecraft not influential just don't know what the, like, there's objective takes to this list and this topic. If you say Minecraft isn't influential, it's not like, oh, really? Why do you think that? It's not like, I don't care about why you think that, because you're objectively wrong. Like there isn't, this isn't like I mean, this is an opinionated list, but opinion doesn't matter when speaking about a topic that can have factual evidence towards it. But Minecraft deserves to be there. Ocarina of Time, 100%. I mean, it was the GOAT. When this game came out, I don't know if you guys were alive, okay? But when this game came out, it was like the #1 game of all time. It was the #1 game of all time, and very few people argued that. It was like, if you play, obviously if you're a Sony fucking fanboy sitting there and the only game you own is Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil, yes, sure, you were like, no, it's overrated, even though I've never played it. But as someone that grew up in a household with Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony, our whole family agreed that, you know, Ocarina of Time was like the best game ever. I don't want to ever go back and play this because when it comes to being an influential game, a lot of the times, because of how much it influenced future games, every future game improved on the formula. So going back to the classics is sometimes a little jarring. But with that being said, I don't think this game has aged badly per se. I've watched it. I haven't played it, but well, I've beaten it in the past. But yeah, definitely influential. I'm gonna save you the rant. Ocarina of Time pioneered ideas that are now commonplace, such as context-sensitive actions, while Z-targeting aiming systems have been adopted by countless games, combat systems, not least from Software Soul series. For its outstanding soundtrack to its dark, melancholic story, its every facet spoke to a developer operating at the peak of its creative powers too. True. The story in Ocarina of Time is awesome. Yo, thank you, Mars Cakes. How was your stream? How was your stream? How was your stream? Your stream. Welcome, everybody. We're looking at the most influential games of all time list. Thank you. I'm the doctor. Half-Life is on here too. This list is a little sus in places. Presenter, writer, podcaster Jane. By the way, I agree. Half-Life and Half-Life 2. I'm just saying it's sus in general. Presenter, writer, podcast Jane Douglas. Wide-ranging achievements in visuals and physics, but also in storytelling and world building. At the time, the company's president, Gabe Newell, said he hoped that building worlds and characters would be more compelling for players on the than shooting galleries. I loved Half-Life when it first came out. Oh my god. Half-Life is a fucking masterpiece. God, it was so good. Half-Life is like, I still see Half-Life as like insanely good. Like the journey you go through in Half-Life is nuts. And some of the stuff the game asks you to do to progress is like you know, in Croc, when I'm overthinking everything and I'm like, oh wow, I just made this harder than it had to be. Half-Life is the opposite, where it's like you're thinking to yourself, do I really have to do what it's asked me to do? Like, is this what it's asked me to do? And it is. It is asking you to make that frame perfect jump over the pit of electricity water and then grab the onto the fucking floating tentacle to shoot yourself off to get more momentum and distance to land on the next platform. Like, it asks you to do insane shit. It's nuts. I've streamed Half-Life a couple times. But yeah, agreed. Mario Bros, obviously this is on here. I'm surprised it's not number 1. Fucking all right. In 1985, a blue-collar hero. Yeah. Figure of speech. Rescued the princess from the clutches of evil, Bowser, and helped save the game industry in the process. Following the infamous crash of 1983, the North American console industry needed a hit, and Shuji Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka. I know Miyamoto, but World 1-1 remains perhaps the most famous first stage ever made. Yep. An object lesson in level design. Of course, it gave gaming a new household name. Everyone knows Mario. Truing. Doom! There we go. I was waiting for that. Thank you, Runa, for the 40 tuna. Thank you. I looked at this list beforehand, but I can't remember anything. I'm number 1. I honestly can't remember. I might be wrong. And if I'm right, you guys are just gonna say I knew already. But I'm gonna guess it's Duck Hunt. ID Software placed a gun at the bottom of the screen, gave players a legion of demons to shoot, and the medium was changed forever. Doom's influence can't be overstated. The rise of the first-person shooter genre can be attributed to its success. Both the modding and speedrunning scenes, speedrunning mentioned, can both be traced back here. Brought multiplayer deathmatch to a mainstream audience. In doing so, it spawned hordes of would-be imitators, few of which came close to matching the technical excellence of design ingenuity. Doom gave us the first-person shooter, really. Actor Doug Cockle says. Okay. All the first-person shooters that we play today came out of Doom. More than 30 years later, its impact still resonates. True. True. My oldest brother used to play Doom online on DOS with like a neighbor of ours. And I used to watch him play Doom with his friend. And we also owned it on Super Nintendo and on PlayStation. We had Doom on PC, PlayStation, and Super Nintendo. The red cartridge. We only rented the one on Super Nintendo, but my brother owned it on PS1 and on PC. MS-DOS, classic, dude. The PlayStation version, yeah, that came in the big freaking box. Like, it came in like this wide ass box. Shenmue. My brother got this on release day. Well, he got a Dreamcast for like Christmas, and it came with Shenmue, and I watched him play it for hours. Hours we watched Shenmue, and I don't know if I can comment on how influential it is. But Shenmue, when it came out, was absolutely fucking cutting edge. That it was cutting edge technology. The graphics in this game, when this game first released, a lot of viewers who were saying all this stuff didn't play the game when it came out, 100%. This game was fucking cutting edge. Now, this isn't about being cutting edge though. But trust me when I say, when Shenmue was released, oh, this does not deserve number 1 in my opinion. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But I mean, like, it deserves to be on this list. But like, if this was about games that were cutting edge when they came out, then number 1, I wouldn't argue. But Shenmue walks so Yakuza could run. I agree, and not number 1. Thank you, Indoxy. Anyway, what's it say? A surprise number 1 in some respects. I can't believe it, like, this got up here. A surprise number 1 in some respects. Detailed settings that have been since become the expected norm at gaming's bleeding edge. Settings used in such industry titans like Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed franchises. The phrase living, breathing world might be a marketed cliche today, but when Shenmue arrived, it accurately described the game's astonishingly vivid rendition of Yokosuka. Straightforward but absorbing revenge plot played second fiddle to the simple pleasures of inhabiting such a convincing urban space with its own timetable. True. Non-player characters are granted lives of their own, and so Ryu would have to fit their routines and rituals. Man, nowadays going back and playing this with the actual timer is like, I played the remaster on PC. Oh my god, the timer, man. The timer. It can be seen as the precursor to Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, the quieter moments and otherwise noisy blockbusters than Uncharted 4, Last of Us Part 2, and God of War surely took their cues from Suzuki's game, and its spirit lives on through its increasingly popular Yakuza / Like a Dragon series. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just like writer drivel. Like, fuck, like the writer is scrambling to be like, how the hell am I gonna tie this into being influential? I don't agree here. Like sure, maybe they played them, but maybe they played Shenmue, but I mean, I doubt they were in the studio like thinking about Shenmue. It struggled commercially on release, but it felt out of step with its peers. That's only because it marched on its own leisurely rhythm. Well, it's because it came out on the fucking Dreamcast. I played this game when it initially launched, and even now I've yet to encounter another game quite like it. While I was growing up, Shenmue is definitely a game that stuck with me really, really hard. Like, even to this day, like, I sometimes think about Shenmue and the story and the world that it was building and the story it was telling. Like, I do think about this game quite often, but for me, it's because of nostalgia. It's because I played it with my oldest brother, and I would just watch him play for hours and hours and hours, and I thought it was one of the coolest games I've ever seen at the time. And you know what's funny? I love this game. It's like in my top, if I had a top 100 list, but that sounds silly to you guys, but I've played thousands of games. If I had a top 100 list, it would definitely be on there. But I haven't played Shenmue 2, and I haven't played Shenmue 3, and I have no interest in playing those games at all. Because where Shenmue was cutting edge, Shenmue 2 and Shenmue 3 seem like they're the opposite, where they're like so far behind the times that I don't even want to play them. 3 especially. 2, maybe it's not behind, but 3 is definitely like, this game should have come out 10 years ago. What game do you guys think is missing from this list that you would have put on here? What was the most influential game in my opinion? I mean, probably Mario Bros or Tetris. I don't know though. It's hard to say what the most, I think the most influential game is debatable. I think this could definitely be up there. Dude, World of Warcraft showed the world that these kinds of games can make fucking millions and millions and millions of dollars. World of Warcraft was, I think this was like, I'll wait, I'll read what you guys are saying first. Leisure Suit Larry, nice. So Super Metroid, no Super Metroid and no Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Like, hey, how about we scrap this bullshit? How about we scrap this ass bullshit and we put in either Super Metroid or Symphony of the Night? No Super Metroid or Symphony of the Night is insane. That's insane. I also agree, as a Resident Evil streamer, RE4, this list is very imperfect, but RE4 was very influential to the third-person shooter genre. Very, very influential. There's not a fighting game on here. And honestly, you know what? Yeah, God Hand influenced companies to never make a game like that ever again. You're right. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 definitely doesn't deserve to be on here. So you said Kingdom Hearts 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be on the list. I also agree Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be on the list. Well, I don't entirely agree Baldur's Gate. The difference, God damn it. The difference between Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Come is this is a decent game that people like a lot. This is a decent game. Kingdom Come 2, great game. This is one of the best games ever created. Like, I haven't even played it, but I'm respecting the global opinion on the game. This is one of the best games ever made. Kingdom Come 2 is just a game that came out this year that people have an insane recency bias for, so they put it on the list because they can't cope. But, okay, so let's say that you guys are right. Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't deserve to be on this list. Well, Baldur's fucking Gate 1 sure does. So this being here doesn't make me angry because a Baldur's Gate is getting on this list. So, like, Baldur's Gate influenced this genre. Now, this is a dying genre, but that goes into my main point of why this sort of deserves to be here. And unlike Kingdom Come, this game took a dead genre. And I know you guys are thinking, oh, Pillars of Eternity was good. I liked it a lot. Sure. I'm talking dead genre, like won't sell really, really well. Like if you're making a game in the genre of Baldur's Gate 3, like turn-based, slow-paced storytelling, a lot of characters, world building, you are prepped to know that it's not going to make a lot of money. Because I'm telling you facts right now. I'm not sharing my own opinion on the matter. This genre doesn't sell very well. And then they released Baldur's Gate 3 and it sold like fucking hotcakes, dude. So it now has, this is why I see it deserves to be here. People will make games like this now and they can expect them to sell well. But at the same time, this game had like an 8-year dev time, huge budget that took forever to make. So it's like a massive, massive, massive passion project. So you'll never make it the quality of Baldur's Gate 3. Like if you do make this genre, if it's the quality of Baldur's Gate 3, it's going to have to be half the price and half the content. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to make this scope of a world in like the next 3 years or like a 3-year dev time. Does that make sense, guys? But I can't say anything about this though. I could defend Baldur's Gate 3, but I can't say shit about this. This just straight up doesn't deserve to be here. But yes, if I were to add more games to the list, it would be RE4, 100%. Either Resident Evil 1, because it influenced, like, hey, as someone that's played, or 2, as someone that's played all survival horror games on like PS1, N64, whatever, RE2 like takes the fucking cake in the PS1 area. Like every other survival horror game is like just tries to be as good as RE2 and fails. Dark Souls is on the list. Well, I don't know if Silent Hill 2 really influenced much. I think Resident Evil influenced Silent Hill 2. But yeah, RE4 for sure. I think RE4 definitely deserves to be here. If any Resident Evil is here, it's RE4 because RE4 revolutionized third-person shooters. But yeah, the list is decent though. I think the list is decent. It's really hard to make this list. It really truly is. There's a lot of video games that were highly influential and it's very hard to like do it justice. My biggest disagreement's Kingdom Come. Like, it's funny. I think the first few games, like, spot on. But, yeah, then the top of the list is a little sus, honestly. Well, GTA's in last. Let's talk about GTA, the OG. This is the OG GTA. This, I just think deserves to be a little higher. No Concord. Won't this list change in the future? No, no. Here, let me put this on the screen. I gotta use the bathroom. It won't change in the future because this is what it is. It wasn't written by a single guy. I think this was like a public vote, which is probably part of the problem because people, when it comes to lists like this and public votes and forums and stuff, A lot of people lack critical thinking, so they're like, most influential game. Oh man, my favorite game is fucking. Let me open up my Steam because I can't think of a single video game right now. My favorite game is Fear and Hunger, so I'm gonna say Fear and Hunger because I love it. Like, well, bro, okay, you said Fear and Hunger. What did it influence? Oh, well, I just really like it. That's the kind of people that vote and shit like this. So it's best to take it with a grain of salt. Just give me 1 sec. This was really fun though. This was fun to look at, and I really like that even though we might not agree with everything on this list, I think it's really cool to make lists of influential games to show people that don't know, you know, some of the classics that shaped the current mold of the modern video game industry. But yeah, there's definitely stuff lacking. No fighting game is funny because it's like, all right, so what influenced fighting games then? Street Fighter 2 for the most part. But yeah. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. I mean, but yeah, see, it's hard to choose. Like, here, let me just end on this. What's the most influential first-person shooter ever made, guys? See that most people are saying something different? That's why it's hard to make this list. And I don't know either. I don't have the right answer. I don't know. If I were to think, I'd say... I don't know. I mean, Quake for sure. Doom for sure. Counter-Strike for sure. GoldenEye being influential? I see GoldenEye as what was influenced. Thank you, Leon. Influential to me has to say like something that's been done first or a formula that has been absolutely perfected, and anyone else who has tried it has like even in years of the future has not. Diablo, dude, that definitely deserves to be here. No Diablo. I know. No Diablo 2 or Diablo 2 influenced ARPG in general. Diablo 2 is like the face of JRPG, or not JRPG, ARPG, action RPG. Diablo 2 definitely. I agree. Tomb Raider and Zelda Ocarina of Time are essentially the same games. Bruh. They are absolutely not. And Tomb Raider is not being called influential because of its level design or Tomb Raider is being called influential because of turning a female hero into an absolute icon, influencing future video game developers to be like, hey, we can make a sexy badass female and it will do well. Now I know people are gonna counter that with like, oh, Samus. But Samus was in the fucking suit. I did not know she was a girl. I didn't know she was a girl till I was like 20 years old, dude. No one did. Don't pretend like you did. Most of us called Samus Metroid, bro. And most of us called Link Zelda, okay? If you didn't grow up at the time, most people thought Link was Zelda. Because no one told you otherwise, unless you like really played the game and paid attention. But early on, though. It's called The Legend of Zelda. So you'd think you're playing as Zelda. People still call Samus Metroid, yeah. Well, after Dread, dude, you can call her Metroid. Zelda isn't the little green dude. But no, like Tomb Raider and Ocarina of Time are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Tomb Raider and Ocarina of Time are basically the same game. Ocarina of Time is not a platformer. And Ocarina of Time is also a story game. It's like a story puzzle action game. This is just a straight up platformer. Anyway, this was fun. This was really fun to look at. And this is the only game I 100% am looking at this like, delete this shit. Everything else though, I think is valid. Oh, and this is way too high. But where's Manhunt on the list? All right, that's a sign to end it. That's a sign to freaking end it, dude. Where's Manhunt? Yeah, Alone in the Dark influenced RE, so RE shouldn't be on this list. I see the logic there. I do. But Alone in the Dark influenced Resident Evil. Resident Evil influenced like 50 other games. You could make that, you could literally bring that argument back to Pong. Like Pong influenced gaming, so therefore Pong is #1. And you could also, with that same logic, like Halo can't be on here because it's not the first-person shooter. But I do agree that Alone in the Dark influenced Resident Evil for sure. But Sweet Home influenced Alone in the Dark. So Sweet Home actually deserves to be on here as opposed to Alone in the Dark. We got it. And then you guys can take it further. Well, I mean, Sweet Home was influenced by Pong, so you know. The conversation about this topic can go around in circles forever. You know. You're related to your wife, by the way. Oh, how? Adam and Eve, bro. It all started with 2. Everyone is related. Let's not go down this road, all right? Rando, you're banned from making any sexual comments. You're on the thin ice. You have to behave. Why do you think I married her? I should boot up RE3. I did not see the movie Sweet Home, no. Oh my god, you guys. This was really fun. Boing, 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 ba-da-da-doing. Thank you, Leon, and thank you, Pain Fall Victory. Thank you. Thank you, Indaxi. Do 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 do. Most influential game. Pog. Pog. How is Croc not on the list? Only 20 games could be on the list. That's the thing. Like, why isn't Sonic on the list? All right, well, let's cut Doom. And then guess what? Okay, so Sonic replaced Doom. And now everyone's gonna be like, well, how did Doom not make the list? All right, well, then we'll cut Grand Theft Auto 3 and put Doom on the list. Well, hey, why is it Grand Theft Auto 3 on the list? You know what's a better list for that kind of game? Top 25 is definitely to get stuff like this, stuff like us talking. It should just be like influential games. You know what I mean? Like 50 really influential games. But unfortunately, the internet doesn't work like that. You have to clickbait literally everything this day and age or no one will click it. So you can't do like a genuine, wholesome, like 50 influential games and then end your like ending paragraph is like, and there are so many more. Here's to name a few, this, and this. And there's like 5,000 more. And I'm sure you guys can leave them in the comments. Nah, it's more so best to put Kingdom fucking Come 2 on there and bait out anger. Top 25 most influential speedruns of all time. I gotta make that list. How is SpongeBob fucking Battle at Bikini Bottom not in the top 20?